Philippines versus Nestor Dolendo. In September 1996, private complainant Yolina Perocho and her children were eating in their house when she heard respondent Nestor Dolendo shouting, "Leonard, I am already here." She went out and saw the respondent holding a gun. They all went upstairs and called her, but due to their far distance from neighbors, no help came. She then saw the respondent gather dried coconut leaf and set their porch on fire. She and her children jumped from the rear window and hid in a grassy area. After a while, they heard 6-year-old son crying. She then realized that she had totally forgotten about him. By the time they came out from hiding, the house was completely burned and his son died. Private complainant filed charge against the respondent for arson with homicide before the RTC. In its decision, the RTC found the respondent guilty of arson with homicide. However, on appeal, the Court of Appeals modified the decision of the RTC. The Supreme Court ruled in the affirmative. It held that in cases where both the burning and death occur, it is important to ascertain the main objective of the accused. If the main objective is the burning of the building or edifice, but death results by reason or on the occasion of arson, the crime is simple arson, and the resulting homicide is absurd. If the main objective is to kill a particular person who may be in a building or edifice, when first is resorted to as the homicide, murder, or arson. In the present case, it was clearly established that the death of private complainant's son was by reason or on the occasion of the arson. Hence, the same is absorbed by the crime of arson. The record speaks for itself. Both Yolina and Jessie were categorical, consistent, and firm in the narrations of the incident and the appellant's identity as the one who set their dwelling on the fire. Section 3 of PD 1613, otherwise known as the New Arson Law, Section 3 stated that other cases of arson, the penalty of reclusion temporal to reclusion perpetua shall be imposed if the properly burned is anything of the following: any building used as offices of the government or any of its agencies, any inhabited house or dwelling, any industrial establishment, shipyard or well, mine shaft, platform or tunnel, any plantation, farm, pasture land, growing crop, grain field, orchard, bamboo grove or mill, cane mill or mill central, and any railway or bus station, airport, wharf, or warehouse. Arson requires the following elements. First, fire was set intentionally and the accused was identified as the person who caused it. The corpus delicti rule is satisfied by proof of the bare fact of the fire and it was intentionally accused. In People versus Malngan, accordingly, in cases where both burning and death occur, in order to determine what crime or crimes was or were perpetrated, whether arson, murder, or arson and homicide or murder, it is de rigueur to ascertain the main objective of the main factor. If the main objective is the burning of the building or edifice, but death results by reason or in the occasion of arson, the crime is simple arson, and the resulting homicide is absurd. 8. On the other hand, the main objective is to kill a particular person who may be in a building or edifice. When fire is resorted to as the means to accomplish such goal, the crime committed is murder only. Lastly, if the objective is likewise to kill a particular person, and the fact that the offender has already done so, but fire is resorted to as means to cover. Then there are two separate and distinct crimes committed, which is homicide or murder and arson, whether or not the CA was correct in modifying the conviction of the respondent from arson with homicide to simple arson.